Hi again, welcome to the Gapster channel. My name is Gabby. We're going to talk a little bit today about building a workbench. The reason I want to build a workbench is I had too many projects, mostly speaker projects and other woodworking projects, and got tired of working on the ground, on the floor, and my back is not as good as it used to be, and so I felt the need to build something more decent. I also wanted to build a few tools so things become a little bit easier. So I started building this bench during the COVID time. It's actually been over a year now that I built this, and it's still missing a couple parts, but it's pretty much there. What I wanted is something big enough where I can put in some big pieces of wood, and also a big space to work with, and also I could like put maybe a stool here and sit here and do something. And there is also space on the other side as well, and with the two spaces like two people could sit and work together, and it's more social. I also wanted to be put all my tools in it, so I don't have too many pieces everywhere. So you'll see, for example, there's a built-in the sander here just retracts out and goes in. There's some nice room for tools. I built those drawers, beautiful handles. They also got some great track system. These are by Armor Tools. One thing is I'm not sponsored by anyone, so I use a variety of different manufacturers, so you won't see me sticking or pushing any brands, and so there's nothing to buy or purchase. I like those because they're very thick, so they're not flimsy, and they actually go. What's nice is, I'll show you later in the video, is you'll have your first piece of plywood, you put your tracks, and then you cut little pieces and you put them on top, and this way if any piece gets damaged you just replace that one piece and you're still good to go. Also you will see here this part extends, so if you have even like a really long pieces you want to push some through, this will act as support and actually rolls with the wood for you, or not roll, you can actually lock it. And I'll bring you on the other side. So here it is again from this side. This comes out, goes back in. If I want to put something heavy, I've got a couple of brackets that also could, so that could hold a lot of weight. I've got my stop saw built into the wood working bench. On the bottom here, this is my you'll see here my jointer. So I don't use it a lot, and for the amount of time I need it, I just don't want it to be everywhere. So it's all, a lot of stuff is built into the cabinetry this way. And I'll show you on the other side. On this side, it's lots of the outlets are for the vacuum system, and you'll see if I put it here, this will go into the saw. This is for general vacuuming system. I'll show you this in a second. There's also a little hose when I go from here, and it connects from this outlet to this outlet, and this way you get a double section on the saw. I'm still missing the drawers here. I haven't had a chance to build those, but one day I will. And this is the same sitting down workstation compared to the other side. The top part is really interesting. It's got lots of pop-out section. This is you can put garbage here, and when it's full you just empty it, and this way you don't have to keep running to the trash can. It's got a nice handle that folds. The one next to it is actually linked to the vacuum system, and if you're working you can brush the table and falls in here and gets swept away. And the one next to that, this one is the vacuum system, and you can put a brush and brush away and use it for multiple purpose. And the one beside it is another also garbage system. There you go, and when they're all closed, it looks like a table. You wouldn't even know there's anything in there, and it makes life a lot easier. On this end, I've got a clamping tool with pipes, and this pulls out almost 2-3 feet out, and you can adjust it, and you got the clamping tool thing. On this side, not sure yet, might either put my compressor, because there's quite a bit of space, or like nail gun compressor, or I might just put another set of drawers. I'll see as far as how it goes. The entire table is on casters, some heavy duty casters, but what I did is I basically put a piece of wood here and I lever it to raise it up a little bit, and I put a couple of blocks so I can make it not sit on the caster, so it's very solid, and if I ever want to move it, I'll just take the little blocks out and it can wheel and turn around. So the next part of the video, I'm going to talk about the building process, how I built it from start to finish. And that should give you a fairly good, reasonable idea if you'd like to build something like this for yourself. I'm sure everybody have their own taste and they like to change things to their way, but at least give you a rough idea on how I built this. Please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you get always notified about future videos. I will be posting a lot of stuff here and there. And without wasting too much time, let's get into building process. So started, first thing is with the skeleton of the table. We're using some 2x4s and some 4x4s as posts. And here we're adding some panels to where the future drawers would be, different sections. All pieces are glued and screwed to add more stability for long term. Pocket screws were used quite a bit. It makes things a lot easier. Here you can see the layout of the table starting to take shape. The table is roughly around 8 feet long by 4 feet wide, just shy of 8 feet and 4 feet. This is the area where the jointer is going to be, and it's on a slider, just like a drawer. That's a good way to have it hiding in there. And this is the most important part, putting the table saw in place after adjusting the height. Here I'm working on the little sliding drawer that's going to have the belt sander. And this is the sliders where the saw is going to be, and this is like an extension at the front of the saw in case I want to put like a very large board. This is a bird's eye view of the workbench before I put the top on it, so it gives you an idea of what's going on. This is where you can see the hosing kind of going in for the dust collection. So I've got 2 ports, one that services the table saw and one that services a bench top vent, and there's a hose that pulls out. And just gonna pan around a little bit so you guys could see a little bit before it's closed down. You can see the vise towards the end there. So that I'm gonna give you a little more view from the sides. a little bit on how it is done. So that gives you the side view from above, of course. And there's one of the pull-ups. Basically, you can use that to put some garbage or whatever you want to put in there. And this way it's easy, just toss them in. This one is the vacuum, and that comes from the other side basically. And that's a good vent for when you're working with some dusty stuff. And I can put the top on top of it, and with perforation it could be good for sanding and stuff like that. And on this vent here we've got the pull-out hose that's in there. And this side, I still haven't decided what I'm going to put in there. It's going to be a pull-out something, we'll figure it out. Might be some recyclables. I also worked on the drawers, and fairly common drawers, but I decided to stain them basically, and already starting using them. So I got stuff in them already. Yeah, so basically these ones are 20-inch long drawers, and I did some cool handles, at least for I think it's cool, and made out of walnut. It's a piece of walnut laying around, so I decided to use that. Here's some shots from the front or back end, depends how you look at it. And I'm going to do a quick pan here. Just there will be some drawers going in this section here, and it goes. These are the drawers I've already put in on this side, and then this goes the stop saw, and on this side we have the pull-out section of the saw, and on this end we have the stable saw, and the bottom we have a jointer. It basically pulls out as well and puts out, and on top this is where the this can pull out. You can see it here pulled out, and you can basically push it back in all the way. It goes a little further. So yeah, so that gives you an idea and how the construction of it is happening. Sun is shining here. And electrical, we have basically, this is the main electrical that distributes to all different tools. And then there's another electrical outlet here, and one more on the other side, basically with a couple USB ports. So yeah. So I decided to go with the double-sided T-track. They're a little bit stronger because they are much thicker, and they're actually, rather than screwed from the top, they're actually bolted down with a means of T-screws. So there's another track on the bottom, so you put the screw in here, so you get some holes. They're actually bolted, because they're bolted with a nice big solid screw, so they're much stronger. If you're applying heavy pressure, they will not pry out. The other advantage of having a double T-track is I hated the idea of routering all these grooves and having a perfect thing. So these are 3/4 inch thick. So if I'm doing a double-sided top, so I have two pieces of plywood of 3/4 inch. So the second one will go in and it will go flush, and that makes it easier to also replace pieces. Let's say you muck up a piece, you drill a bunch of holes in it or whatever, you just have to take that one piece out and put a new piece in, rather than having to replace the entire system. So yeah, so that's what we'll be doing, and we're gonna get to work and put those guys, bolted them down. So basically here I'm cutting a full sheet of plywood into different squares, and these are gonna go between the double T tracks, and that's gonna finish the table basically like this. And as you can see, once that step is done, the table is pretty much finished. I still have to do some more drawers on the other side and at the front, but I'm probably gonna wait a little bit because that's taking a break. It's taking me a while to get to this level. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you, and have yourself a nice day.